Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Deep Dive Podcast. Hope you are doing well and taking good care of yourself. We go beyond the headlines and uncover the truth behind real stories, real crimes, and real consequences. Let's move towards today's topic. Today we're going somewhere. Well, somewhere deep into the humid, shadowy heart of British-era Calcutta. The year is 1927.
It's a city of incredible wealth, these massive palaces, but it's also a city of deep, dark shadows.
And a place where the most powerful families believed they could bury absolutely any scandal.
But some secrets, they just don't stay buried. Our focus today is a mystery that it really defied all logic. We're talking about the impossible death of Malini Devi Chowdhury.
Malini Devi was, by all accounts, the most influential woman in the city. A 39-year-old widow, incredibly powerful, living in this sprawling fortress called Neelkanth Palace.
A fortress of stone and, as it turns out, secrets. And on the morning of June 16th, 1927, she was found dead inside it.
Right, and our sources for this are just fascinating. We have a stack of old police reports from the lead inspector, some forensic findings from a completely baffled medical examiner.
And a personal diary, a really, really chilling personal diary.
All of which point to this one single unnerving conclusion. This was a murder with no weapon and no way for a killer to get in or out.
Which brings us to the real question of this deep dive.
It's not just who killed her, but what killed her. Because all the evidence starts to suggest this terrifying idea that maybe memory itself can be weaponized.
That trauma can become something physically deadly.
Yeah.
You literally be murdered by an idea.
Okay, let's unpack this. So, the moment Inspector Ravindranath Sen steps into Neelkanth Palace, he knows something is wrong. I mean, this is a veteran officer. But this scene was just an exercise in contradiction. Malini's body is in her third-floor bedroom, and every single window, every door is bolted shut from the inside.
From the inside, that's the key. Zero evidence of forced entry, no sign of a struggle.
And no blood.
It wasn't just peaceful, it was almost theatrical. Her body was laid out on the bed, hands crossed on her chest. Her eyes were open.
Open. And the police report describes her expression as strangely calm, yet utterly vacant. But here's where reality starts to kind of fracture. Outside, Calcutta is just sweltering. It's almost 40 degrees Celsius. You can feel the heat.
But inside her room, Sen notes it's unnaturally cold, like winter cold.
And there's the smell, an overpowering, sweet scent of jasmine that he said made him feel dizzy.
That contrast, the coals and the sweet smell, that's our first real clue that something unseen, something unnatural has happened here.
And then you get to the medical findings, the autopsy.
Yeah, Dr. Sudhanshu Mukherjee reports the cause of death as sudden cardiac arrest.
Wait, a sudden heart attack in a perfectly healthy 39-year-old woman? In a locked room?
Exactly. Mukherjee found her heart was in perfect condition. There was no poison, no injury, no disease, nothing. He was so baffled he actually wrote in his report, and this is a quote, that it was as if her body simply chose to stop living.
That's medically unprecedented.
It is. It's impossible.
But there was one piece of physical evidence that proves something violent happened.
The crucial detail. The autopsy revealed microscopic burn marks on her corneas.
So what does that even mean?
It suggests that in the very last second of her life, she saw something. Something so visually shocking, so horrifying, that the act of seeing it caused actual physical injury to her eyes.
She was literally shocked to death by something she saw.
But if the room was empty, what did she see?
Exactly. So Inspector Sen, he can't solve a physical murder, so he starts looking for warnings. And he finds one, captured on film just hours before she died.
The photograph. The day before she died, June 15th, Malini had a formal portrait taken by a very famous photographer, Jatin Bose.
Bose later told the police she seemed resigned. Not afraid, but resigned. And as he was packing up his gear, she said something to him.
What did she say?
She said, "Your pictures always tell the truth, Jatin Babu. Perhaps too much truth."
Wow. And when that photographic plate was developed, that's exactly what happened. You see her elegant on the palace balcony, but over her shoulder.
There's a silhouette.
A blurred, dark silhouette of a man in black clothes standing right behind her where no one was.
And here's the really weird part. When Bose developed another photo from that same day, one he took back in his own studio.
Don't tell me.
The same silhouette was there, in the background of a completely different picture. It was like it had imprinted itself on the film, that it was following the camera.
Okay, so this visual warning, it lines up perfectly with what Sen finds next. Malini's personal diary.
He finds it hidden away, and this diary, it just maps out the internal landscape of her final few months.
It starts in January 1927 with what sounds like a classic haunting, right?
Mm-hmm.
She sees a black-clad figure in her third-floor window.
The same floor where she dies. Then by February, it gets personal. Small things start disappearing from her locked safe. A bracelet, a letter.
She's being psychologically dismantled piece by piece.
She even calls in a tantric, a mystical healer, but he takes one step inside, says something is waiting, and then just flees. Won't even take payment.
But then the diary entries shift.
They really do. In May, it turns from an external haunting to this internal horror. She writes that she's remembering everything. Memories, she says, were never meant to surface.
And she writes that terrifying line, "The body never forgets."
Yes. Which connects right back to the crime scene, doesn't it? The cold room, the cardiac arrest, the trauma wasn't just in her head, it was physically overwhelming her.
And her final entry from the night before she died is just acceptance. She knows he is coming, and she writes that the fear is gone. Now there is only waiting.
So with a locked room and a diary full of terror, Inspector Sen realizes the key isn't the palace, it's her past.
He looks back 20 years to 1905. Malini was 17, and she just vanished for 3 months.
The official family story was an illness, a stay at an ashram.
But Sen finds old billing records. They link her to a private hospital in North Calcutta, one known for covering up scandals for the rich.
And that is where the name Dr. Niranjan Bhattacharya finally appears. On the surface, a respected physician.
But secretly, a monster. A police raid in 1906 uncovered his work, which he was doing in a sealed basement lab.
What was the purpose of the lab?
Bhattacharya believed he could control and even surgically remove human memory. Wealthy families sent him their children, 47 of them, mostly girls, to fix problems.
Unwanted pregnancies, mental illness, anything that could tarnish the family name.
His treatment was just pure torture. Survivors talked about electric shocks, chemical injections, direct brain experiments, all to, as he put it, open the doors of memory.
Malini Devi, age 17, was patient number 23.
And Bhattacharya. He vanished right before that 1906 police raid. Never caught. Of the 47 kids he experimented on, only 23 even survived the lab.
And this is where the past comes crashing into the present. Sen discovers that those 23 survivors, they've been dying, one by one, since 1920.
By the time Malini dies in 1927, there are only 8 of them left. And the pattern of deaths is medically impossible.
Give us an example, because this is key to understanding the murder weapon, so to speak.
Okay, so take patient 7. Dies in 1920 in a freezing cold house, cause unknown. Or patient 12, who supposedly drowned in the river.
Supposedly.
The autopsy showed his lungs were bone dry, no water. He died from the idea of drowning.
How is that even possible?
That's the horrific conclusion they were coming to. A mental event, a memory, or a fear was so powerful it was short-circuiting their biology, shutting the body down.
Every death was ruled inconclusive. The body just stopped.
So Sen tracks down one of the last survivors, Rameshwar Dutt, patient 15. He's a lawyer now.
And he confirms it. He says, that thing which he put inside us is looking for us.
But the real breakthrough comes from Shantalata Mazumdar, patient 36. She had been tracking the deaths.
What did she figure out?
She realized the deaths were sequential. They were happening in order of their patient numbers. First patients 1 through 10, then 11 through 20. Bellini was patient 23.
So it was a countdown, a murderous numerical countdown.
Exactly. And Shantalata gives Sen the final piece. She says, "This is not physical, Inspector. It is inside us, in our memory, in our dreams. That's why the locks don't matter."
So Malini wasn't killed by a person in her room. She was killed by the memory itself.
Driven by this, Sen finds the site of the original 1906 lab. It's a temple now, built right on top of the old foundation.
He gets a court order, they dig down, and they break into the sealed basement.
It's a time capsule of horror. Rusty tables, leather straps, jars with things in them.
But the walls are covered with hundreds of photos of the victims taken during the experiments. Their faces just twisted in terror.
And pinned to a board, a fresh handwritten note. It's signed NB.
Dated June 20th, 1927, 4 days after Malini's death.
It's his confession. He says he's still watching.
I want to read from the police file here. He says he isn't killing them, that they are killing themselves because he merely opened a door in the brain.
And behind that door,
He says it's not just their own memories, but the other memories. The suffering and pain of all the people who were ever here.
the collective trauma of a whole city, weaponized and put inside their heads.
And he ends the note with a promise. I will start again because science never stops.
Sen realizes he must be using an alias. And through old university records, he connects Bhattacharya to a psychiatrist named Dr. Nabin Basu.
Basu had been kicked out of the university for experiments on memory transfer, claiming memory was pure energy.
And Sen finds Basu's clinic. It's still operating. And inside are the records of another 25 patients who came for treatment and then died of mysterious, inconclusive causes.
The experiment never stopped. The next victim in the sequence was patient 24, Gautam Sen.
Police find him, and he's just resigned. He calls the memories the Black Sea that's coming to swallow him.
And despite a 247 police guard, Gautam walks out of his house that night, straight into the river, and drowns.
And the autopsy confirms it again. Lungs completely dry. He died from the memory of drowning.
The very last survivor Sen finds is Anamika Roy, patient 45. While Sen is guarding her room, it happens.
What happens?
She convulses, and a voice comes out of her mouth, but it's not hers. It's a man's voice, old and strong. It's Bhattacharya's.
A moment of actual possession.
He tells Sen that he implanted himself in their minds, that they all belong to him, and moments later, Anamika Roy dies of cardiac arrest, the same burn marks on her corneas.
And that was it. All 45 patients were dead. The experiment was complete.
Inspector Sen, just completely broken by it all, resigned from the force, case closed, unresolved.
But there's one last haunting piece to this. 2 weeks later, Sen gets a parcel in the mail.
Inside is Malini Devi's death photo, the one from the balcony.
But it's different this time.
The silhouette behind her isn't blurred anymore, it's sharp, perfectly in focus. It's him. It's Dr. Bhattacharya, and he's smiling, looking right into the camera.
Looking right at Sen.
And on the back, a final message. The next experiment will begin soon. Thank you for your cooperation, Inspector.
So if you connect all the dots, what does this mean? Bhattacharya's theory was that memory could be transferred like energy. This whole case suggests that collective trauma, when it's manipulated, can become a physical killer.
A force that walls and locks can't stop. The doctor just flipped a switch in their minds, and their own repressed pain became the final, fatal assault.
And the most terrifying part, of course, is that he was never caught.
He could still be out there, under another name, perfecting this mechanism. It's a reminder that some knowledge comes at a terrible cost, and that promise, the experiment will begin soon, is still just hanging in the air.
It really makes you think. Be very careful what you remember.
So the next time you look at an old photograph, one of those formal, posed portraits, ask yourself, are you absolutely sure there's nothing watching you from the shadows?
This was all for today. Stay happy, stay safe, comment your views down below, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel. See you next time with another story in Deep Dive.